How to embrace setbacks. I had to redo this video. Damn. Had to redo this video because I didn't have the windshield on my lavalier mic, and I was like, I know that there's a way around this, and I was looking at videos on how to do it, and I found one. I literally found one, and it was a blessing in the sky because I felt like the first video I didn't feel like myself. I didn't feel confident. I wasn't sure in what I was saying. I feel a lot better, well rested, and I got this filter, so hopefully it's not, the wind isn't picking up on this mic. I will find out afterwards, but hopefully it's not picking up. So how to embrace setbacks. First off, let me tell you how this video came about, first and foremost. So, of course, this is when the train wants to come, when I start shooting my video. But so the reason this video came about was because my shoulder has been hurting me for the past 2 weeks, really. I was playing basketball and my friend, I pump faked and he literally landed on my shoulder, bro. I was like, bro, what the fuck? Like, what are you doing? Like, were you trying to like make me disintegrate, bro? Like, what was going on in your head? He was like, my bad, bro. I thought you were gonna shoot it. It's like, bro, like, you didn't have to jump on my shoulder. Anyway, so that happened, and I was pissed when it happened initially. But a long slew of things happened, and that was like the icing on the cake. That happened at the end of my day. I had to call out of work for 2 days. It was a whole thing, right? Now, the past 2 weeks, it's just been, I was still playing basketball, but I wasn't really taking like the time to heal because I was like, man, I'm not hurt, whatever, this, that, and the third. But really I was, like my shoulder, like it was really hard for me to raise my arm. Now I could do it. It still was a little bit painful, but you know, it was hurting. And I was so adamant about getting to the next spot, getting back to 100%, but I was like, you know what? I need a rest. I need to relax. I need to not put pressure on this shoulder because I want to keep my shoulder. I love my shoulder. And it's crazy how I was talking to my friend, how all of this is connected. Like, just by hurting right here, I can't even I couldn't put my seatbelt on. I couldn't drive. It was hard for me to pick. It was a whole thing, right? Now, I'm not trying to make this a video on anatomy, but the whole point of why this video came about was because I hurt my shoulder, and there was a lot of things that I was learning over the past 2 weeks with that injury happening. The importance of setbacks, why they're necessary, because I feel like up until that point, now I'm not saying I needed to hurt my shoulder to realize this, but it was a good reminder where I felt like me hurting my shoulder, it kind of forced me to remember the things that got me to the strength that I was. I feel like more times than not in our lives, we get to a place of comfortability and we forget what got us there to begin with. Prime example. So like right now I would say I'm probably about at like maybe 80% of what my strength was pre-injury, where like I could bench 225 easy, not even having to think about it. Now I'm benching like 185 5 times, and it's like I'm scared because I don't want to hurt my shoulder. But there were things that I would do to kind of mitigate injuries, like really stretching when I use the bars, doing shoulder mobility exercises, you know, stuff like that, that I strayed away from. But I'm seeing the importance of bringing it back because I need to re-strengthen my shoulder. My shoulder needs to get strong again. And I think time and time again in our lives, we forget the things that make us strong, the things that make us happy, to make us feel like the best version of ourselves, whether that be physically, in the gym, mentally, spiritually. There's a lot of things that I strayed away from, and I feel like God used my shoulder to be the catalyst of getting back to the basics, because I feel like it's so important for us to remind ourselves of what's got us to where we're at. Because if we don't, every time adversity comes, we're gonna be looking around like, bro, what do I do? You know? So it's very important that we embrace setbacks and not look at it as a pitfall. Well, obviously it's inevitable to look at it as a pitfall, but you know, not to take things too critical. Not looking at our lives like, damn, why is this happening to me? Understand that this is happening for me. Everything in our lives is a lesson. There's a lesson to be learned in every season of our lives. Me hurting my shoulder, it kind of forced me to give myself grace and rest. So much of my life, I feel like I am on the go, whether that be with the gym, whether that be with content, making music, you know what I'm saying? Like everything, I'm just trying to get to the next level, but it's not forcing me to stay still and be present. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a video I was watching today and it was talking about the importance of silence, the importance of just sitting in whatever feeling that you're feeling. Because I think more times than not, and let me put it on myself because I don't want to speak as though like I'm not the one, like I don't have these, I'm human too, you know? So I do so many things to kind of escape what I'm feeling or escape my reality because I don't want to feel the emotion that I'm feeling right now. Like I know when I am sitting idle, it's like I'm feeling like there's a number of things that's going through my mind. It's like, man, what could I be doing right now that's productive? How can I elevate my life? I'm wasting time, you know, or just a long list of things that kind of play back into the I can't rest, you know, where it's like lately I've been forcing myself to just sit in the silence and just focus on my breathing and recognize that, man, it's okay to not do something right now. Like you don't have to constantly be doing something for your life to feel like it's good. Like that took me a while to understand. And again, I'm not saying that my shoulder had to hurt for me to recognize this, but I feel like it was a good reminder to be like, yo, bro, just take a step back, relax, rest. You know, you don't have to be lifting 225 when your shoulder can't even lift the bar. Like, what are you doing? Like, you hurt your shoulder, relax, rest, you know? So it's very important that we do that. Now, I was gonna say, like, how do we do this? How do we emphasize it more? Because I feel like I really did touch on the importance, but the way that I would say that I have been looking at how to embrace setbacks is it's all about how we perceive things, right? The quality of our lives is mainly dependent on how we choose to see the world. So if we look at this setback as like, damn, I'll never get back to XYZ, then yeah, you'll be miserable the entire time. But once you switch your thinking to be like, man, I'm gonna enjoy this process of getting my shoulder back. And I keep using my shoulder because that's the example of today's video, but I'm gonna use this time to really embrace strengthening my shoulder again, even though it sucks, because I know however many weeks ago I was at peak strength, but now I gotta go back to the basics, you know? It's essentially rebuilding that foundation. And I think time and time again in our lives, when we're not faced with adversity, we don't know how to reground ourselves and recenter ourselves to protect ourselves from essentially the pitfalls of life, you know? An analogy that I like to use, like when it comes to just like setbacks and also just the ups and downs of life, is how I look at my career, or not even my career, but the career of the creative, or the career of somebody who's trying to pop off, you know? The person who is an overnight sensation ultimately will not appreciate it. They won't know what to do because it just happened so fast for them. So they're looking at it like, man, whatever, like I don't really care about this. But the person who it took 10 years for their first video to pop, they've already built the foundation so that they know how to replicate it. They just have to keep doing what they've been doing, you know? Even when I look at my life, there's times where I think back to the best well-performed videos that I've put out. It wasn't even with the intention to have a viral video. It was just an idea that I acted on, and I was like, damn, I really like this video, and I put it out, you know? It's really important that we are doing things with a righteous intent. We're not doing things with the expectation of getting something in return. We're doing it because we know that this is good for us, and accepting that, man, as long as I am operating in my truth, I ultimately will achieve exactly what this world has to offer me, you know? So where we at? We're at the 9:46 mark. So where do I want to leave off in this video? Because I don't like to make these videos too long. I would say the main takeaway for this video is to embrace your setbacks. Embrace the pitfalls of embrace the pitfalls of your life, because I feel like it's important. Adversity is necessary. Adversity is necessary. There is nobody who's been successful that had a constant incline on their life. They was faced with some tough times, whether that be financially, spiritually, emotionally. You got to go through the emotions. You got to go through every emotion that gets to where it is that you want to get to. It's not going to be sunshines and giggles all day, every day. It's just not practical, bro. So in the seasons where you feel the lowest, ask yourself, what is something that I can learn in this season? What have I been neglecting? A lot of times we get faced back to square one because there was a part of our life that we weren't appreciative of. We weren't expressing gratitude. We weren't being grateful. So, you know, everything kind of came crumbling down. But now's our chance to rebuild and strengthen that muscle, that shoulder, if you will, and rebuild it stronger than it ever was before, you know? So that's about it. This was a much better video. I feel great about this video. My energy is good. I feel proud. Hopefully the sound quality is good because I got this pop filter jump. I didn't even know what this was for. I was looking at videos on how to stop the wind from affecting my mic, and the dude was like, oh yeah, use this wind. I was like, bro, I have that. Because I was about to do like this duct tape thing that I was like, no, I can't do that. But yeah, man, that's about it. If you guys made it this far in the video, I want to say thank you all so much. It was a pleasure talking to you all. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. I'm back, baby. Until next time, peace.